many schools have this. Like the kids have an extended break because Christmas and New Year's are on Wednesdays. So because of that, they're closed Tuesday to the following Thursday. Usually it's like 1 week. It's been almost 2 weeks with a vacate because no one's going in on Monday and no one's going in on Friday. So, but my mother-in-law's birthday, her like 70th birthday is during that. And so she goes, it'd be nice if you guys threw me a party. And we were going to go away. She's like, yeah, but aren't you going to do a Hanukkah party? Like you should just do it within your Hanukkah party. And we were like, fine. And so then we go, who do you want us to invite? And she goes, oh, no, I don't want to bother. Like you just have your party, but like, we'll just have a birthday cake for me. And we're like, you want your friends there. Who should we invite? She didn't give us any information whatsoever. And I was like, I love you, but I hate you right now. So we're going to be throwing a birthday party for my mother-in-law. So if you're around in the New Jersey area and you want to come celebrate Hanukkah, and my mother's name is Sandy, so we're calling it, that we always do every year, we do like a themed Hanukkah, right? So we've done like Japanica when we did Japanese food. We've done my big fat Greek Hanukkah for that year, things like that. So this year we're having Sandrika in honor of her. And all of our food, Michelle, when I like sat down and figured this stuff out, all of the food is going to be like higher, classier versions of the food that she normally makes. She makes this dish called fish with apples. She loves it. It's utterly disgusting. So we found like a better elevated version of this dish where like there's like fish and there's apples involved in the dish, but like it's like literally it's imagine like if you took a piece of tilapia and you turned it into a taco and just filled it with like chunks of cooked apple. Like that's what she makes. It's gross. But so this is going to be like, we'll make an elevated version of like with like an apple chutney and like all these things, like whatever. Yeah.
All I could think of when you said Sandrika was, it sounds like somebody's name from Dune.
See, I never watched that. I fell asleep. It's really boring. Are you watching the TV show, the Dune TV show?
Not yet.
No. We were talking earlier. I don't know if this made the recording or where we're starting and not starting, but we were talking about cartoons.
That's going to be a weird one.
It's going to be a weird one. When is it not? There's a great anime called Food Wars, and it's so Japanese. It's about a culinary high school, right? And so all of these kids that are like 13 years old are all like vying to be like Michelin level star chefs. And then it turns into like an action movie, an action show, because like the main character's dad happened to have gone to that school, but he left the kid when he was younger. So now he's got to go figure out his own history. And then the dad comes back and like has to fight with the headmaster. And like, you think they're going to fight to the death, but they both pull out like chef's knives and like make crazy dishes. And there's just like weird scenes where there's just like risotto flying all over the effing place and like just onions being chopped left and right. You can find that on Crunchyroll. You can get a subscription through your iOS device. Been a near.
Level up your domain security and email deliverability. Achieve peace of mind, reduce ransomware, reduce business email compromise, reduce email phishing and other attacks. Make DMARC a new revenue stream for your MSP. Becoming a managed service provider partner with EasyDMARC is an excellent opportunity for your business to boost sales and increase revenue. Your customers need DMARC, although they might not realize it yet. Your job is to let them know that their email infrastructure might be at risk of email spoofing and phishing attacks, and that you can offer them a simple solution: email authentication. Become the DMARC expert your clients need with EasyDMARC. Find out more today at atmsp.link/EasyDMARC.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the All Things MSP podcast. My name is Justin Escar, and with me always is my good friend, podcast producer extraordinaire, Mr. Eric Anthony. Eric, we got a big show today. We got a lot happening. We normally do banter, but we had a very long, cold opening. So we're just going to jump right into From the Group. If you want to be from the group, check us out, facebook.com/group/allthingsmsp. Today, our From the Group is from Philip Morley. He writes, what does fellow business owners use for a CRM? And I'm looking for suggestions as we're interested in buying/implementing. Thanks in advance. I picked this one out because I am currently going through the same problem. So my answer to you, Philip, is none. The problem with a CRM, here's my problem with CRM. Like I tried HubSpot for like a hot minute and I got so overwhelmed with how much is in there. My problem with CRMs just in general is the good ones are complicated and the bad ones are the bad ones.
Yes. In general, yes. I would say if you're just dipping your toe into the CRM water, right? Probably use whatever one is built into your PSA because you're already paying for it.
Yeah.
If you get a little more involved in sales as a process and your PSA CRM no longer does it for you, my recommendation just from personal experience would be it's called Bigin, Bigin. It's by Zoho. So there's Zoho CRM and then there's Bigin. Bigin is the smaller, reduced flavor. What I like about it is if you're not...
You think it'd be called Smallin then.
Exactly. If you're not used to a traditional sales funnel type process, it uses a Kanban board for your sales funnel. So kind of like Trello, if you're familiar with using Trello, it's kind of, I think, just an easier way to organize. Plus, it's only $15 a month. So not a huge investment.
Yeah, it really, like you said, Eric, it really comes down to what you're trying to do, Philip. Like, if you're doing it for sales and checking, like, honestly, we use the CRM that's built into Halo, and it's fine. I was trying to figure out what I can do to keep track of stuff for, like, my conference. I did go to ChatGPT, and I said, like, hey, what's a good CRM? Figuring it. And it literally was just like, just use Google Sheets. Like, use Google Sheets. And I was like, cool, I'm going to use Google Sheets. What should I have in my Google Sheet? And it, like, gave me title headers and even told me, like, which ones were drop downs. And I was like, this is genius. Done. I made this. Like, I finally found a good use for ChatGPT. And so now I track, like, who, what, and, like, where they are, like, what my next move is for them is literally a drop down. And it makes it so much easier. And then I can color coordinate. So I think it really depends. There's a couple of things here. One is how big your company is and how much you want to spend, right? Because if you're a one-person shop, you don't really need a CRM because it's probably all in your head. You can just do it in a notebook. But you can start easy, something with Google Sheets. Or the other piece is what integrates with your stuff. So, for example, I have clients that use a product called Daylight. It's an okay CRM for the Mac, but it only integrates with the Mac Mail program. And so you have to have Mac Mail. And even at that, it's iffy, but it was great back in the day. There's no like online version of it where like HubSpot will tie into your Google or your Outlook or Office 365 and integrate directly in that. But like I went in just to do some ACES stuff with HubSpot. I tried it out for a day. I put in our friend Nancy's email and it was like, it gave me so many options. I don't even know where to begin. I was like, I just want to track like, when did I email her last and tell me when I need to email her again next. Couldn't do it in HubSpot because I just couldn't figure it out. I found an extension that works in Google Suite, G Sheets, and I'm done with it. Like I made it easy. So my answer is, who cares? Whatever's easiest for you.
Yeah.
So, but Philip, thanks for writing in, man. Told you I can get it done in 5 minutes. If you want to be from the group, check us out, facebook.com/group/all things MSP. Ask a really good question, and maybe next time you'll hear your name on From the Group.
Elevate your IT managed service provider business with SuperOps, the all-in-one platform that integrates RMM and PSA. Powered by AI-driven insights and automation, SuperOps helps you stay ahead, streamline operations, and boost efficiency. Are you ready for operational excellence? Find out more at atmsp.link/SuperOps.
I started my Monday off I bent down to like get something from my floor on Monday and I banged my knee on the corner of my desk. And I was like, I was on a Zoom call with my team and I go, this is why Garfield hates Mondays. But it's not Monday, it's Friday, and that's the day we record. And if you don't know that by now by listening to this show, you haven't been paying attention. Go back a couple episodes. We talk about how time works. It goes forward or backwards, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly. But enough about that. We have a guest today. I love it when we have a guest.
We do.
We do have a guest. Let's bring up Miss Zulfiya Forsythe, CEO of the Omadli Group. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you.
Thanks for being
Happy to be here.
Thanks for being here. Why don't you give everybody real quick 2-minute spiel? Who are you and what is the Omadli Group? And then we'll kind of get into what we're talking about today.
Absolutely. Omadli Group is a data analytics and AI solutions company based out of Boston. So I'm here to help clients with streamlining their reporting, also with AI solutions right now as cutting edge AI, so helping them to get the most out of their data.
How much data do you get from Dunkin' Donuts? Because I figured you're in Boston. It's one of those things. I went to school in the Northeast, and they love their Dunkin' up there. Like, people make fun of them for it, but it's true. All right, let's just jump right into some data analytics stuff here. Data analytics is a pretty broad topic, to say the least, and let's bring it right in straight into what MSPs need to do. What kind of data should MSPs be? Because we talked about this a little on a show before, Eric. We were just talking about like what data should an MSP use or collect, and what should they do with it? So let's ask the professional here: what data should an MSP be collecting, and what should they be doing with it?
Absolutely. So MSPs already have clients and their clients have data. So right now we're living in a world of data where every impression, every like turns into data, right? That we can make informed decisions on. So when we talk about MSPs is when we look at MSP clients, they have their data housed on multiple different systems. So we're talking about ERP systems, financial systems, operationals, marketing systems, right? So what could do is MSP could see what the pain points are of their clients, meaning what are they trying to do with that system? What problems they're trying to solve? And how can they marry together so that their clients could get a kind of bigger picture of what's happening with their business? So that's one of the ways. And that's what we've been working with MSPs actually on.
So bringing in that data from the client, because obviously the clients always want to know, like, where are we spending our most money? Who's the most problematic person? Should we fire Judy because she doesn't understand how the cloud works? Things like that. Is that what you're getting at?
So what I'm saying is what I'm hearing is MSPs usually have account executives that meet with clients and kind of figure out what are their goals are, what are they trying to achieve. And they also manage all of those systems on the cloud because they need to make sure that the licenses for these systems are onboarded for all the users. So I think it's a good way for MSPs to see, like, why are they using those softwares? Like, what's the reason for it? And also from what we've seen is what type of reporting they derive from the software, like talking to executives. What type of report do you want to see? At the end of the day, most of those softwares are there to increase profitability, to increase revenues for that business. So trying to figure out, okay, how are you getting the data out of that system? And what's the process like? Is it lengthy? Is it taking a lot of time? Are you getting that custom report that you want? And how fast are you getting it? That's one of the ways.
Yeah, that totally makes sense, right? And like, I feel like that reporting always seems to be a big problem for MSPs, right? Like, whenever we talk to MSPs about that kind of stuff, we say, like, all right, what are you doing for your reporting? Because, like, I have clients who ask us for reports all the time, right? And we're still manually dragging our feet across some of it because this client wants these 5 items and this client wants these 3 items and this client wants a whole different set of items. So how can we, like, make this easier for us? I forget everyone who listens. I don't care about you guys. I'm kidding. But, like, help me. Like, how do we make it more streamlined internally?
Absolutely. So here's the thing. I've been working with clients from different industries, and what I've seen, it happens for all of the clients. Basically, it's everybody uses every ERP system or every CRM system has its out-of-box reporting. But guess what? Most clients don't use it because they want something custom to their business. They want KPIs that are relevant to their business or that they come up with so they can keep track of things better. So I think the number one thing is looking at, for example, I had a client when we started with the real estate client that I had, and they had the reporting done in Excel. So somebody will go in there, download the reports from Yardi. That's one of the leaders in real estate. And actually, they also have a healthcare suite as well in their software, and they have out-of-box reporting. But most clients that I've seen throughout my entire history would not just use like the occupancy report straight from the Yardi, for example. They would take that report, they would take multiple reports, and somebody on their team would do this crazy formulas with VLOOKUPs and match and hope it doesn't get corrupted or broken down, let's say. And then they would have to present their numbers to the executive team. Usually that process takes, depending on the volume and depending on how big the organization is, sometimes a couple of days. And if there's certain numbers get updated, now they have to rerun this process once again. So I think the biggest thing is like, okay, let's look at the reporting that you already have and let's see which one is taking the longest time.
Right.
And obviously you want also look at the reporting that's important, something that has eyes more than any other ones, like on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis, and see how much time it's taking you to put it together. Again, when we were working with a real estate company, we noticed that they had weekly reporting and they had so many properties, and it would take like one full day for somebody to run it and make sure that person took one day because that person's been doing it for such a long time. And that's best use case scenario if the formulas will not break. We come in, we learn basically everything about the back end, where the data is, map it out correctly, and then build it out once. Now, snap of a finger, the data refreshes on back end. Nobody's looking at it anymore. Nobody's putting it every week. No time is being spent. It just comes right on. And then also delivery is also streamlined, meaning if you have certain parties that need to be looking at it, they get shipped that to their email. So they open it, and some of them, if they prefer to be on the go, they can have a mobile app for like Power BI, for example. Now they can see their numbers on the go. So nobody is touching that report anymore unless there's a server outage or there's a new mapping that's been introduced. But again, it's a minimum maintenance at that point. So it went from taking someone a day, for example, to taking 0. So you can see how now they actually can look at the numbers and figure out what's happening. Okay, why is certain property, for example, occupancy is dropping on this week? What's the cost? Instead of somebody spending one day and then they're like so bogged down, right? They kind of like scrambling quickly to make sure that report is out and things could be missed, for example. Yeah. But now they're actually spending time on more analytics, like figuring out why certain metrics are dropping, what's happening with the business, or how can they elevate them. So they spend on more deep and more rewarding work.
So let's bring this back to MSPs for a second, right? Because it all comes down to KPIs and metrics. Eric, you ran an MSP for a long time because you know that I don't do metrics. What were some of when you were running an MSP, Eric, what were some of your metrics that you were trying to keep track of?
Well, I think that when it comes to this kind of stuff, metrics are, of course, important. And I was keeping track of a lot of things from, percentage of new ARR or MRR, depending on what I was looking at. What my pipeline looked at in terms of, percentage of where things were in the stages from, awareness all the way down to closed won or closed lost. But I think in this case, we're looking at more for what can the MSP do from a data analytics service offering rather than just the data for the MSP. So I know that when we were setting up this episode that you told me about a story that you had where you helped an MSP with a veterinary clinic. And so I'm very interested to know, why did the MSP come to you? Like, what level of problem did they have that they needed to seek out a data analytics expert? And then we'll talk more about the rest of that story.
Absolutely. And actually, I started working with MSPs by complete surprise because I had that real estate client that found me and we were working on it. And that real estate client was managed by MSP. So MSP saw what we're doing with that real estate client and like, oh, cool. Our client loves us. Can you help our clients, like our other clients. And then they started feeding me business basically through, like, we help veterinary clinics. We also help automotive clients in automotive business that they had as well. So with the veterinary clinic, they again, that MSP is doing such a great job of listening to their clients and seeing what their clients are doing, learning about their business and seeing the pain points that their clients have. And that's how they, like, okay, they saw what we did with the real estate. Came as a surprise, because I wasn't looking out for, like, working with MSPs or partnering up with MSPs. I just had a real estate client that we did a BI reporting for, business intelligence reporting for, and MSPs was on a back end making sure that we have the Power BI licenses, for example, and they were looking what we were doing, and now they're like, oh, this could be useful for my other clients that need that reporting, that need to see what their revenues are in real time, and asking them, do you have anything like that? Are you getting that reporting to know where your business at now? And that's how they started offering. And basically they started bringing us on the calls, like, hey, we have this client, can you come and jump on a call and see if you can help them? They have, like, for example, in veterinary space, they had proprietary software that they built, and MSP is obviously aware of that because they're maintaining that software and making sure the licenses and making sure that any outage or the servers, right? So they're aware, and they, like, oh, they're getting these reportings, but they're spending so much time on it. I know you've done something with that real estate. Can you see if you help them as well? And that's a journey where the journey began, and we're still working with them. And as soon as the veterinary clinic got the taste of, oh my gosh, I can get this, like, these reportings right at snap of my fingers. I love it. I don't have a staff that's now sitting late nights, or they have deadline that they have to sharply meet, and we have to update our systems to get the most recent numbers. Like, it's built once, and now I get it on the go. I know where my numbers are. Like, what else can we do? And we still working with them because they're coming up, oh, I want to see, like, what's my practitioner that's giving me the most, for example, revenue on, or what's my practitioner that's giving me, what's the average time of service time, for example, for that practitioner, to get more sense of how can they make their clients happy, for example, how can they streamline their operation and service better.
So there's a skills
That's where we
gap,
are.
evidently, with the MSP that you are now filling
Yes.
for them. So for the MSPs that are listening to this, what are some of those skills that you can bring that they can outsource to Omadli Group to augment their service offerings in that business intelligence kind of realm?
Absolutely. So we are skilled in learning about all about data, making sure we know how to marry the data across different platforms. Essentially, if MSP is maintaining the client and that client has multiple different softwares, from HubSpot when we talk about marketing, for Salesforce, for example, or their operational in-house, or any other software that's relevant to their business, they have API access, we on it. Or they have a SQL database, or they have a cloud database. If they are on AWS, they have Redshift, for example, or even S3 bucket, right? So we know how to get the data out and then connect it to the BI tool, either if it's on Microsoft, if it's Power BI, or if it's on AWS, it's a QuickSight. We can bring that data in, build the KPIs, and now that we've helped so many clients, it gives me, I'm still learning. I don't want to say, I'm still learning, but I know what type of KPIs that my clients want, or how to get that KPIs, or how to get that visual, because we've done so many of them by this time, and I know which one works better telling the story, which one don't, and also how to present it for executive teams to make sure that they get the big picture. Also, they're able to drill down to get the details, because we can wrap it up everything and show them the numbers, right? But everybody wants to know, how can I see what is that numbers made of? So there's a capabilities that they can drill down, get the reporting, kind of get more in a trenches if they want to.
So what kind of questions should an MSP be asking of their clients to kind of know or dig out that they have a business intelligence need?
Absolutely. So again, MSPs, from what I'm hearing, MSPs usually meet with their clients. Again, they look at all of the ERP systems across that they maintain. They need to ask, what is taking you that long? What is your pain points of your staff members? Most of the times, executives would know, oh, like executives or even people that are supporting the executive team, because they are the ones putting these reports together. They are the ones that will tell you, oh, it's taking me 1 week or it's taking me 2 days and it's so manual. I have to work with Excel and it crashes. And then I don't know, like, and I have to go collect the numbers again. Or we have Visual Basics that we have to run on if there's a clinic that has multiple locations, right? The volume goes up. So you have to make sure you map up the data. When I'm saying map up, like let's say they have operational data that shows the visits. And now they want to map it out to the revenue side. Now they have to map it up to accounting, for example, to match each revenue to each GL code, let's say in accounting, right? To make sure that financials are showing that these treatments made this much money, that much money. And now it's like, who's doing that? How much time that's taking, you know? Listen to the accounting team, finance team that's putting those reportings together, or any type of analyst that's there, or admins even. If it's a smaller company, admins or marketing departments, basically, and hearing what's taking that long. What would they like to see? Is there an Excel spreadsheet that's been breaking, that's been taking a lot of time to put together, and what they want to see real time on the go analytics, how often they're getting those reportings and how often they would like to get that report. Do they know their numbers at real time all the time?
I think that's
Meaning,
the big takeaway, right? Do they know their numbers? And this is true for both the MSPs themselves and the MSP clients, right? Because if you know your numbers, you're going to do well, and if you don't know your numbers, you're not going to. This is why I want to buy you, Eric. I'm going to buy you that shirt that says that wasn't very data driven of you with like the Christmas holiday shirt. That's what I'm going to get you.
I prefer the ugly sweater version.
Yeah, that's fine. So, there's a lot to take in here when it comes to that kind of data, right? I think, I mean, like, I don't want to push it further because you kind of already said like the main point here, which is like you have to know your numbers.
What you track improves.
Yeah.
Just on a simple level, even if we're tracking our habits. If we're looking at it every day, it's going to get improved because we're going to be focusing on them instead of catching it. Because with the clients that we work with, and we've worked with across many industries so far, I've been in data analytics for a long time. And what I see is, again, what you track improves is that if they are not looking, if it's a marketing spend, for example, what marketing campaign is doing better than the other? Like, how do you know? Then you just spending money. And another thing that I've noticed is that data analytics, most companies look at their numbers, you know when? At the end of the month. Reporting time. When it's too late, things already happened. They're catching it already, like done. Nothing can be done. But with what we're doing with data analytics with MSP clients is that we even set up alerts. So if their KPIs are down now, they get alerted because there's an option with Power BI, for example. You can send alert on your emails. Now, all of a sudden, you're catching the problem before it's too late. Or we have also created reports where you can spot unhappy clients or unhappy customers. Meaning, if you have a certain client that's been giving you a certain volume, churn, right? And now all of a sudden you see that volume is dropping and it's been dropping continuously. It's not, sometimes there's sudden drops, sometimes there's just slow drops, right? So you're not getting surprised. For example, months down, like that client's left. There's nothing can be done anymore. But if you catch it right now, you can start engaging with the client, seeing what works for them, what doesn't, before it's too late.
Awesome. So I think that's a lot of great information. And I think we've covered, why business intelligence is important, why the analytics are important, as well as how an MSP might go about adding this as a service offering. Now, if somebody wants to get in contact with you and work with the Omadli Group, how do they do that?
Absolutely. You can find me on LinkedIn, Zulfiya Forsythe. And then also you can go to omadligroup.com as well. That's our website. I would be happy. And Another thing that I would like to add here, we also forward-thinking company. So we have MSP bot that we put together. If anyone is interested to help to tackle your tickets more streamlined, more efficiently, I would love to collaborate with MSPs and see if we can boost your efficiency and help you out on that front. And also I have a roadmap to prompting, because again, AI is here. We need to embrace it. So I have an AI prompting roadmap. So DM me, would love to help out, would love to keep talking about this.
Thank you so much, Zulfiya.
Thanks, Zulfiya.
Thank you.
So yeah, I think, Eric, just to wrap us up for the day, I think what it really comes down to is, we said it, like, know your numbers, track that information, even if you're tracking it simply or using a company like Omadli Group to help track and get all that data out of there. So for those who are at home, tell us how you're tracking your numbers. Leave us a comment here on the Facebook group. Check us out, facebook.com/group/allthingsmsp. Watch all of this in high def glory and watch how I spilt water on myself mid-episode. Anyone didn't notice that one? At youtube.com/allthingsmsp. Follow us on your favorite podcasting tools. You're listening to it right now. Pull over, leave us a review. Let us know what you think. Eric, any final words before we say goodbye?
Only that I'm going to zoom in and make sure that we highlight the fact that you spilled water on yourself during the episode.
Please do. That would be awesome. Well, that's Eric. I'm Justin. Bye.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform. You can also follow us on Facebook, but better yet, go ahead and join the Facebook group. You can also follow us on Instagram if that's your thing. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at All Things MSP to catch us in all of our video glory. And last but certainly not least, if LinkedIn is your thing, you can follow us there as well. And a special thank you to our premier sponsors, SuperOps, MoveBot, Gozinta, EasyDmark, and Comtech. And we also want to thank our vendor sponsors. The All Things MSP podcast is a BizPow LLC production.